Good morning, fellow INTERPEEPS. I am Scarabic and you're watching Scarabic Gaming. Welcome to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Today we are going to continue on with Doki Doki Literature Club, straight after the intro. Welcome back, everybody, to Doki Doki Literature Club. Now let's find out if this is a horror game, because so far it just seems like a happy-go-lucky manga story thing. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Scarab. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Okay, but does your chair do that? Anyway, don't worry guys. Scarab always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. Well, that is true. If I am having fun, I generally go overboard. And that overboard is generally my best. Or at least close to my best. Okay. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable! You know, I'm gonna get this friggin' the keyboard off my lap. It's kind of annoying. How dependable! Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Jesus, okay. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. Ooh, Yuri likes me. How come? You and Scarab can become friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Uh-oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. But wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sorry, made it sound like a big deal, and it's really not. Yeah, what do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. By the way, I'm not doing any, like, particular voices or anything. I'm just sort of winging it. Because that's what I do. That's how I roll, baby. That's how I roll. I mean, Scarab, we roll poo. We roll poo all the way up the mountain and make the sun rise because the sun is a giant piece of poo. According to mythology. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Don't worry about it. Don't forget about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. I wouldn't make a big deal if you don't want it to be, you know? Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a gun. Pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Because she wants me. She wants my man juice. all up inside the sweat glands. I have no idea where I'm going with this. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Give it to me! And that was not a punch. That was me taking the book, by the way. So just don't you think that. Don't you think that way. I know what you're thinking, peeps. I know what you're thinking. You're my inner peeps. If you're my inner peeps, you watch my show. I know what you're thinking. Don't think that way. Bad. Okay? Okay, it's grabbing the book. Violently grabbing the book. Not violently tearing off a boob, okay? Okay? Alright. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activity for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I'm reading! Already buried in a book. Alright, I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. What are you doing? You're just like making a mess? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. Oh, duh. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. The music's changed. I love it! Oh, it's so happy! Ah! Crap! I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I'm out of this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. I just smoked too much reefer this morning, man. Just spacing out, you know, just like zoning. You was just sort of in the way of my thoughts, dude. Drug references! Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. No, I don't want to let it go. I want to know what's going on here. I want to know. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, it's about when I follow you home and murder you in your sleep. Yes. Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. Really? Life is strange? She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Scarab? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot. Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely masochistic. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Yeah, a little bit, Yuri. Fuck off! Not again! I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I shouldn't let it... When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. Well, I can't, because I'm on a linear dialogue tree, I guess. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? Oh wait, no, that's me. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. Man, could you stop being awkward? It's like really weird. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. Open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulders as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she is not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry! I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here! Ooh. Yuri takes her arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. She's so close I could just lick her cheek. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry! I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page almost feels like an intimate exchange. I'm gonna save right here, just because I can. there's a lot of empty slots, so I'm assuming that if there's more like poetry reading, I'm going to keep it like a save spot for every poetry thing, just in case, you know. It does have multiple endings, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Anyway, intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she's also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Scarab, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Well, wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know that you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I'm just like putting it out there, man. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Good save. Save. Okay. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Ouch! Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright! I stand up. I take my pants off and show my wiener to all of the children below. No, just joking. That's a joke. It's a joke. It's funny. Shut up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, do you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Man, that was hard to read. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Ooh! Music's changed. Yeah, you. I love the music of this game. It's so good. I know, I dance like a fucking moron, but that is for me. That's my stuff, okay? It's how I have fun. It's how I deal with troublesome stuff, like having to read out loud to you people. Anyway, who should I show my poem to first? Yuri! Hey. Yuri seems most experienced. So I should start with her, yeah. She's experienced, alright, sorry. I can't help myself. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. Ooh! As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Okay. Yeah. he's going to hate me. How do I know your thoughts? It's in how does this does not make any sense? This one bit right here does not make any sense. It's in quotation marks and it's in brackets. He's going to hate me. This resembles thought. Did she mutter it? What did she do? You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Mats? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? I don't know. You probably just got a crush on me or something. Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. As a matter of fact, it's not. I've written a lot of poetry and lyrics for songs because I was a musician for 12 years. But don't fucking forget about that. You know, I just write, you know, death, emptiness, invigoration. And then, you know, I have 20 words like that. I bunch them together and bam, you got a poem. Man, I wish it was that easy. It's not. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. She's like, just poke her finger through the page or something. She's like, yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in these new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if the demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that can go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, or me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do! I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kinda funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh wow, your writing is going to be very hard for me to read because it's all curved and stuff. Alright. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing, air of present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Oh! That's so beautiful. I'm sorry to have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, yeah, it's... Well, I just don't read scripts very often. Wow, that's true. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's the relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. I don't know. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little less a little more mild. Okay, cool. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you getting into ghost theory? Whatever that is, I'm gonna save. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Scarab. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Ah, I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. Hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Oh, that's impressive. God, I keep forgetting which voice I'm doing. And am I even doing voices? I don't know! This is the most I've ever had to read in a fucking video. Oh, God. It's like draining. It is so draining. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Scarab. I could take that in a matter of different ways, but I'll just leave it up to the imagination for now. Ah, me too. Wow, that was one person to show my poem to. Only one. This is gonna take a while. Saui! Hey, what's up, friend of long time? This is a good poem, Scarab. Are you sure it's your first time? Yeah, of course. It's not that good. I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time. Yeah, I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy you just wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Scarab, deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much it means to her and all. Yeah! And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub my pussy, the sleep from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Lovely. Just lovely. How do I click out of it? Sorry. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun! Monica's the best! Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Fucking voices and stuff. Alright. Hi, Scarab! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or, you know, things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, just want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I'll have to. Don't worry, Scarab. We're a little embarrassed today, you know. But that's the sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. PMA! Yeah, that's true. And Monica, my poem. Great job, Scarab. I was going, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why I'd expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. Maybe I'm a deep person and you're a... It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I fuck. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know, that YURI sounds kind of writing, right? You know, that YURI likes that kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayuri, who just likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Happy! Sad! Is that what she means? YURI likes it when readers are left to derive their own meanings out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuance. I don't know how to fucking say that word, okay? It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming YURI has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I was nowhere near her level yet, you know. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and you'll learn by trying new things. I'm sure you'll end up trying different things a lot. It can take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find that kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. I must be pissing off the neighbors. Right now it's 4:26 in the morning where I am at. Why is there no dialogue? Again? Why is she laughing twice? I don't know. I'm gonna save just in case that's a glitch. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I don't have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction. The sparkle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, like me. An angry boyfriend, like me. I'll never know. I wasn't home, like me. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun, like me. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image, like me. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright, like me. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices, like me. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in, like me. Don't ask. Don't ask. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. So I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. Like me! What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone finds that maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. Yeah, I tend to drift off when I write things, and I make paragraphs like pages long. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. That is actually really good advice. If you do any sort of writing, you just sort of like get it out of the way with, and then you go back and make sense of it later. Otherwise, you will just get fixated on the one thing and then the grammar corrections, and then you doubt yourself. And no, just move forward and then look back. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. Fair enough. So, just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Alright. Come on, this episode's getting a little bit long. Hurry up, Natsuki. Give me your words of wisdom. Huh? Scarab, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go the fuck home! Wait, what? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm fucking stupid? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort in. Huh? How do you feel about that? We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Ugh! Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, each to their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can sing, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Very play school. Yeah! I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. I'm being honest. Why are you so confused that I wouldn't like it? No, why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks I'm writing. Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up a rhyme at the end and made it fall flat on purpose. It brings out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro! I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect from the youngest one here, did you? Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Alright, so you're the youngest one! Do not flirt with Natsuki. Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old anyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club. Ah! This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayuri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their retrospective poems. As I read in tandem, I watch their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's wrong with his language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's a fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss a symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say, you bitch? Thanks, but it really didn't come out that nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayuri liked it, and Scarab did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Scarab liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new members, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe I'm just jealous that Scarab appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? How'd you know he appreciated my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? Guy! No! If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh! Is everything okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Scarab started showing up. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I say both. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Scarab! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. That's the point in making your problems all convoluted for no reason. The meaning should just jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me to explain it to her, Scarab. Help me to explain it to her. Wait. There's a reason we have deep meaning. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Scarab? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be Yuri. Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. Hear the message! Hear the message of this episode! You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. Instead, you should force your opinion down their throat and make them mad. No, I'm kidding. Everyone's opinion matters, and the whole basis of an argument is to get conflicting opinions, try to see eye to eye, and if you're not able to do it, at least equally express your opinions and respect everyone for their own opinion. I think that is the moral thing to do. But I'm picking Yuri because she's got purple hair and giant tits. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand, Yuri. You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. Ooh. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I ended up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sorry, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. I feel bad now. Natsuki! She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri! How can anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Scarab, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. Ah, it's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Scarab, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we shall do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you've learned something different from your friends too. So your problems will turn out even better. I think to myself, did I learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes? With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Scarab! Ready to walk home? Yeah, alright. Sure, let's go. Sayuri beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayuri and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayuri, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. It's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. They're fighting over a boy. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Scarab, it's nice to get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Syrian still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, we'll just see what the future holds, Sayuri. I pat Sayuri on the shoulder, and... I said that more to myself than her, but it's easy to use Sayuri as an intentional monologue sometimes. Okay! Yeah, let's do this. Alright. And we're back here. And this is where I'm going to leave the episode for today. And music and I can't rhyme because I'm really, really gay. Not in the bad way, just in the good way, like the homosexual or bi way. Doesn't really matter, now I'm rapping a song. I should stop before I make this way too long. Thank you for watching. This is Doki Doki Literature Club. Now I'm going to stop this because it's really, really bad, and I just have a bad feeling I'm going to have to edit this later and look back on this and go, look, dude, you need to stop. No one's going to like your singing, no one's going to like your rap, no one's going to like your dancing. So anyway, you've been watching Scarabic Gaming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button to do me a favor, let people know I exist. And I'll see you soon, INTERPEEPS.